So I did a previous video demonstrating how you can control the Tanzmaus with another drum machine. I'm doing a follow-up because I discovered a couple other little things I think are worth mentioning. Obviously it depends on what machine you're probably using to control it. I'm using a Korg, an old Electribe, and I find again this to be much easier to program, control, and play, have fun with. This thing sounds amazing, but the controls, I mean, who's ever heard of a drum machine to start or hit play and you have to do an alt feature just to do that? To hit play you have to do shift play. To stop you have to do shift stop. I mean, that's ridiculous. Anyway, controls are really rather complicated, cryptic, and if I don't use it for just 2 weeks or whatever, I've already forgotten many of the features of how to do it. I have to keep looking, and I don't know. Well, let's start with this. One of the things I discovered is, at least with the Korg, is the accent feature actually works with the Tanzmaus. So I'm going to put an accent on it. I'll put it on the 1, and we'll see how that sounds. Hear the emphasis. That's pretty cool. It responds to the accent feature. Also, a big discovery for me was the fact that the hi-hats on here, at least whatever you put into sample 1 and 2, depends what you want, but the default is hi-hats. It's kind of like a closed, and then this is more of a crash sound. Well, this actually automatically incorporates the open and close hi-hat. That's just one of the sounds, but these are the variants of that are triggered by the Korg. You can't even do that live on here. So that's really cool. Those are two really cool discoveries. The other thing I want to emphasize is use the individual outs for better sound and control. If you use the master out using a balanced, it's a stereo cable, I get a lot of noise and hiss. There's a couple of sounds on here that are stereo, and you adjust the panning via the data knob. But if you use individual outs, it's a strong, clean signal. And the only one, well, the rim shot doesn't, but for some reason in sample 1 they didn't give you an out for that. So I just use the master, and if I use a mono plug, it's clean and strong, so it sounds good. So hooking this up to a mixer with individual outs, I have mine hooked up with a patch bay so I can easily access, because my mixer is rack mounted. The individual outs enable you to have better control for panning, adding effects, or just clean, strong signals. These are all the sounds of the Tanzmaus playing. Anyway, so you get the idea. So let's do some playing here a little bit. Add a little bit for musicality's sake. I'll emphasize again the fact that by controlling the Tanzmaus with this, you don't get to have polyrhythmic, rhythm set up. You don't get to have live control changes recorded, in a pattern sequence. That's a given. So this isn't the ideal setup, but because I hate how this thing functions for controlling, I thought I'd just use this for now to control it. And again, this machine sounds lovely. It's like kind of like a 909. It depends what you want put in for the samples, at least. But yeah, amazing sound. So this is all Shane Bit. Thanks for watching.